Hello, welcome to DK Boljat. Today I'm going to continue working on these little paintings of, they're going to be Mount Hood, a little tiny Mount Hood, because this is a little tiny painting. This is 2 inches by 4 inches. And I'm going to put in the mountain so I can kind of get a perspective of where the trees are going to be. I don't want it dead center, so I'm going to go in the middle of, well, not dead center, but in the middle and maybe over to the right a little bit on this one. And put in the shape of the mountain. And I'm using a round brush, I believe. Could be a liner. It says it's a liner. Yep. And it's a smaller one. But I've got it loaded with burnt umber and ultramarine. I'm just going to put in a small triangle. A wee little triangle out here. And then I'll fill it in with the mountain color. And if it's going to be Mountain Hood, it's going to have the little tiny bump near the top. There we go. I can bring the base of it out a little bit. I believe it's a sunrise. I believe it's going to be a sunrise, yes. What's the difference? How can you tell if it's a sunset or a sunrise? Anybody know? I'm not sure, so I'm just going to call this one a sunrise. Okay, and it is going to be fine. We're going to put in trees next, but I need to get these guys caught up, so I'm going to switch over here and get this one and make a mountain on this one. Let's see, maybe we could put this one a little bit closer to the other side. My goal is not to be right in the middle. I need to make it look like Mount Hood. It's got to have that little bump. And I just grabbed a little burnt umber and added it to the color, make it a little less blue. That's a little bump, huh? There we go. You can always make that point a little taller. There we go. There's not going to be a lot of light on the mountain. Just switch you guys around. And because it's the sun coming up behind it, it's going to cast the shadow on it. This one's a little more yellow than the others. That's okay. In there, put the little bump in. When we put in the mountains, this is the mountain, but when we put in the trees, it's going to be far away trees, so we're going to use a little fan brush. This is, these are both 10/0, both made by Princeton. Wet it down and go into the burnt umber and ultramarine, which is a black, because we're not going to see bright green trees because the sun's coming up behind them, so they're, to our eye, they're going to look like they are black. And I can just put these in. I start at the base of this mountain and put in, just touching the very tip of the brush to put in those trees and tapping across the little canvas, the little mini canvas. I don't want a pattern, and they don't want to be bigger than the mountain, so I have to tone it down a little bit because they're not that big. And I'm noticing I'm getting quite a bit below the mountain, which would be what your reflection's going to be. But I don't need that big of a reflection. So I'm going to grab a different fan brush, same 10, same size 10, and get some of that off of there. I'm just brushing the opposite way with the fan brush. It's damp. I've wiped off the excess water, so I'm not going to make a puddle. I'm going to brush the opposite way and get that off of there. So it's not so much. And so far down. Because this yellow dried last time, it's pretty good. It's easy to take off the paint. Good enough, and I'm gonna keep going. Now, I need a fan brush that's not gonna put so much in the water. And here I'm not going to worry so much about it. I'm just going to let the reflections go in the water as they will. I want the top to look more like trees, so I'm just going to tap that. It's not as easy to do these little guys, just saying. And then on this canvas, I can go all the way around to the other side. And if I do want any reflection in this water, I can just bring it with the brush itself. Just going sideways. And place it where I want it. There we go. Plenty. I don't need a lot. Just a little bit. And they go all the way to the other side. Again, I can clean it up with a wet brush if I need to. But I think it's going to be fine, just like this. I'm going to bring in the reflections here. And I'll use another little fan brush. I have many, so I will use another one. I could even use just a round brush. I'm just going to grab a round one to clean up any of the reflections that I need to clean up in the water. Now's the time to do it, because otherwise it'll dry like that, and I don't want to have it dry like that. Just gonna get them wet with the brush and then pick them up with another brush. A Q-tip would work too, but I don't have Q-tips at the table, so I'm just gonna use brushes. This one's dry and it's just going right over where I just painted that. I'll just pick it up and wipe it on the table. Oh, I dipped in the white. Don't want that. It's fine. We'll take it off. Good enough. My cat is trying to get on the computer that has the picture. He just, it's, you know, it's about him, and that's fine. It's all about him. Has to be comfortable on the warm keyboard. They get a little bit bigger on the outside here as we go out, but not too worried about it being exactly like it. A little water going into my paint because it was getting dry. And I'm going to switch to the next one. Let's do you. Putting in the little trees. It's going to automatically make the reflection as I'm doing it. I'm just tapping that tip. Go all the way across. And as it gets further, some of the trees are getting bigger. Maybe they're getting closer, is what it is. Okay. I'll do the sides at the end. Right now, I'm just gonna, I may even do it when I'm not filming. I'll go around the side of the canvas too. Nope, switch them out. I do want the reflection to match, so I'm gonna clean up this reflection while I can. You can see it's curved the other way, so I'm gonna take that out, or it curved the other way. And this one too, kind of curved. They got kind of crazy. That's fine. That'll be just fine. There we go. Anything I painted today will come off if I want it to. Just don't take no for an answer. Just keep going and be persevering. It will come off. This one needs Q-tip. That's what it needs, is a Q-tip. I'll grab it. The magic of Q-tips. Here we are. So it was already wet, and the dry Q-tip just finished taking it off. That's fine. All right. Next, the next one, and I'm going to grab the brown and the blue again, so I can do the little trees. Got you, you, and you. I'm gonna do you. Get you in there. And in front of those trees in the reflection, there is no yellow. So I might touch them up a bit later, but right now I'm just gonna get them in. Get them in on the canvas. I ran out there, so I just flipped the brush around. These little fan brushes do a lot. They look well for clouds. And trees. There we go. I may put more pink in this one because it's got a lot of yellow going on. There's going to be someone out there that likes the yellow. That's fine. Your trees and your sky are going to be different than mine. That's a good thing. Let them be. If you're painting with me, yeah, give yourself some grace and enjoy the process. It makes it easier to go forward. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit off of here with the wet brush, and then I'm going to use a Q-tip to pick up the rest of it. You know where I need the reflection a lot is on this, with this tree here, right here. So I can put that in. I've got the power. There we go, brown and blue. I'm gonna put it in. It was right in here. It's a reflection of it. You can do anything you want to do on your canvas. That's directly from Bob Ross. Okay, I'm gonna turn that this way. Be reflecting the correct way. There we go. And are there any in here that need to be fixed? Let's look at you real close. Yes, good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and go around the sides. Okay, around the sides. And over here. Very good. And then do the same thing over here. So we're going to need something to prove that it is a reflection in the water and not just really big gnarly trees. And I believe it's going to be pulling through this with a damp brush. I think that's going to help it. Let me finish putting this tree on here. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. It's going to need some sky on the side a little bit. I'll do that later. And then I want this to look like it's tree reflection in the water. So I'm gonna rinse off this brush, it's a fan brush, get it all clean, and then I'll use it to pull through the trees where the water meets the, you're not gonna see a lot, but I'm gonna turn it sideways and get a little reflection in the water. So I can remove some of that paint. Nice and straight. I'm keeping my brush pretty straight. Another way we can do this is after it's all dry with a little bit of either white or lighter color reflecting on the water. Side to side on here with the damp brush. It doesn't have a lot of water. It has enough that you can see it on there, but not too much. Yes, I'm good enough. That's good. I mean, it's good enough. I'm good enough too. I'm gonna do this one too. See if I can pull it. Side to side. It's easier up and down for me because it is so tiny. This is a good challenge. You know, that's most of my, I love it. I love the challenge of painting. And now that pulled a nice big line, and I don't need it that big, so I will fix that. Just a little bit. Dry up on me. Good enough. And you know what? I will put, like, I'm gonna pull a white line across there later too. Putting in the trees. I just can't do white right now. I'll have a nice color gray in the water, and I really don't want that. Okay. What was the last one right here? Yep, I'm gonna pull the line across there. I'm going for like a little break in the reflection with a little bit of light. Nobody, you can't come over. That's the cat, sorry, he's trying to come over. You know, I should just put him in the bedroom when I'm painting, but you know what? He doesn't like that. And he lets me know. So I'm just gonna deal with it. Okay, I don't need it all off of there, just a little bit, not much. So these are all damp because I pulled across them with a damp brush. I can fix this guy with a little bit of this, a little here and there. There we are, and I'm gonna get a knife and pull that across. So I'll start with the one that I did first, right there. There we go. And then I'm gonna pull that line across and bring it back to the canvas that's underneath, because you know what? It's not dry from where I put the water on it. Maybe give it the illusion of water, not just a bunch of big, huge trees with bushy roots. And just put that line across it. I want to make sure it's pretty straight, and it looks like it goes a little lower over here, so I'll bring it up a little bit. Bring back the sky. I am seeing something I'm gonna fix, which is in the water. It's this rebel treetop right there. Got it wet. I'm using a Q-tip. Using a Boljat. Get it to thin out a little bit and disappear. I don't need it distracting anybody. We're looking at nature, and all of a sudden they see this rebel treetop. There we go. Okay, and I need to put in a little bit more black. My homemade black right here on the base of the trees.